वालेकुम प्यारे बच्चों और प्यारे बच्चों के साथ जो बड़े देख रहे हैं वो भी वेलकम बैक टू स्टोरी टाइम विद आंटी जर. आज सब कैसे हैं? आई होप दैट एवरीबडी इज डूइंग ओके. Just before I start reading the story to you, one thing that I do want to remind you is that I have not written these stories. I am not the illustrator or the publisher for these stories. I am just a storyteller who's here to tell you a story. And the purpose of this channel is to inculcate a love for reading and storytelling, particularly related to books in children, young children, especially children who are bilingual, who understand English and Urdu or Hindi. So the story that we're going to read today is called John Joe and the Big Hen by Martin Waddell. It's been illustrated by Paul Howard. तैयार हो? शुरू करें? John Joe and the Big Hen. किस को hens अच्छे लगते हैं यहाँ? I love hens. But I don't think John Joe does. You'll find out. It's your day for minding John Joe, Mammy told Sammy. So he had to stay with John Joe. अब Sammy बड़ा भाई है और John Joe छोटा भाई है और Mammy ये बच्चे अपनी मामा को कहते हैं. तो मामा ने Sammy को ये बताया है कि उसने John Joe का ख्याल करना है. Mary read her book and Mammy went on with her work. Mary बहन है. She's reading her book. मैमी इज वर्किंग. देखो इतने सारे एनिमल्स हैं जिनका मैमी ने ख्याल करना है. These kids live on a farmhouse in the countryside. Splinter the dog sat in the sun and got toasted. इसका ये मतलब है कि ये सन में धूप में बैठ के मजे से धूप को एंजॉय कर रहा था और सैमी ने जॉन जो का ख्याल करना है. ठीक है, तो ड्यूटी लगा दी है मामा ने सैमी की. Sammy got bored minding John Joe. Sammy wanted to play with his friend Willie Brennan. अब सैमी का दिल नहीं चाह रहा जॉन जो का ख्याल करने को. I'm away down cow lane to the Brennans, Sammy told Mary. So Sammy told his sister Mary that he's going to the Brennans. Brennans में उसका फ्रेंड था ना Willie Brennan, और वो भागने लगा अपने भाई को छोड़ के. Take John Joe with you, said Mary. But Sammy took Splinter instead of John Joe. तो सैमी स्प्लिंटर को ले गया और जॉन जो को छोड़ गया. अब सैमी गड़बड़ कर रहा है ना. मामा ने जो काम कहा था वो नहीं कर रहा. मामा कोई काम कहती हैं तो हम उनकी बात मानते हैं ना, या हम अपनी मर्जी करते हैं. I'm left by myself, John Joe told Mary. You'd better tell Mammy. अब जॉन जो भी नॉटी है. वो कह रहे हैं कि सैमी ने तो मेरा ख्याल नहीं रखा. मैरी आओ मामा को शिकायत लगाते हैं. Let Mammy get on with her work, Mary said. I'll settle our Sammy. So Mary said that she'll take care of her brother. She's a good sister, है ना? No, sorry. She didn't say she will take care of him. She said she will settle him. अब इस बात का क्या मतलब है अभी आगे पता चलेगा. Mary took John Joe by the hand and set off down cow lane to find Sammy. तो Mary भी बड़ी मजेदार है. उसने भी ये नहीं सोचा कि चलो मैं ही छोटे भाई का ख्याल रख लेती हूँ. वो भागकर उसका हाथ पकड़ के उसको ले गई ताकि वो उसको जाके सामी के हवाले कर दे. काम से भागना कोई इन बच्चों से सीखे. आप लोग भी काम से भागते हो मामा कोई काम कहती हैं तो. They went to the Brennans, but there was no sign of Sammy. Mary was mad, for it wasn't her day for minding John Joe. Do you think they'd be down by the stream? Asked John Joe. I'd look, but you are too little to go, Mary said. And I can't leave you here with no one to mind you. I'll mind myself, said John Joe. अब समझ आइए हुआ क्या है. ये लोग ब्रेनन्स के घर गए हैं जो कि सैमी का फ्रेंड है और वहाँ सैमी इनको नहीं मिला. Now Mary is very angry. She's very upset. She doesn't mind taking care of her brother when it's her day to take care of him. But today it's not her day. So John Joe said maybe they're down by the stream जहाँ river है. But Mary said वहाँ हैं भी तो मैं तो नहीं जा सकती वहाँ तुम्हें लेके, तुम तो बहुत छोटे हो. उसने कहा I'll stay here, you go and find out. The Brennan's Big Hen came to look at John Joe. John Joe was used to the hens at his house, but he didn't know the Brennan's Big Hen. I'm not scared of you, John Joe told the hen. I'll whack your backside, John Joe told the hen. अब ये जॉन जो ने कोई अच्छी बात नहीं की. whack your backside का मतलब है मैं थप्पड़ लगाऊंगा तुम्हें. ये अच्छी बात नहीं है, लेकिन जॉन जो बहुत छोटा है और वो इससे डर गया है. So he's telling her that he's not scared, but in fact he really is. So to scare her, he says, I'll whack your backside. Go away home, hen, John Joe told the hen. but the big hen didn't go. गड़बड़ है ना? John Joe's in trouble. John Joe climbed on the wall, for he thought that the Brennan's big hen might eat him. Do hens eat children? But John Joe got scared. Mrs. Brennan! Shouted John Joe. But Mrs. Brennan was out. Mary! Yelled John Joe. But Mary had gone after Sammy, and she couldn't hear him. Oh, Mammy! Wailed John Joe. But Mammy was safe back at home. That left John Joe alone with the Brennan's big hen. And so John Joe ran away from the hen. कहाँ भाग गया John Joe? Mary came back to the Brennans with Sammy and Splinter. But where's our John Joe? Sammy said. John Joe! John Joe! Our John Joe! Shouted Sammy. John Joe! Shouted Mary. अब सब बच्चे John Joe को ढूंढ रहे हैं. John Joe कहाँ है? No John Joe with the hens in the yard. No John Joe with the pigs in the sty. No John Joe in the ditch. No John Joe in the barn. Go find John Joe, Splinter, said Sammy. Splinter is their dog. Dogs are good at finding people. And what do dogs use to find people? The scent of smell. Dogs' noses are much sharper than our noses. So Splinter could use his nose. Splinter had more of a chance to find him. Splinter walked round and sniffed at the ground. And the wall. And the top of the wall. अब देखो यही रास्ता था ना जो जॉन जो ने लिया था. पहले वो जमीन से चढ़ा था, फिर वो वॉल पे चढ़ा था, फिर वॉल के टॉप पे चढ़ा था. तो Splinter could smell him. Then Splinter dived into the corn. अच्छा जो corn है ना वो पीछे खेत है, crops हैं, fields हैं जहाँ corn grow होता है. तो Splinter वहाँ चला गया. Then Splinter dived into the corn. Splinter barked and he barked and he barked. That's how dogs talk, right? Woof, 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 woof. अब ये देखो बच्चे देख रहे हैं. Splinter कहाँ चला गया? ये Splinter ने छलांग मारी. Woof, 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 woof. John Joe was asleep in the corn. ये देखो fields हैं, corn fields हैं. So John Joe basically भाग के चला गया in the field. किससे भाग के गया था? Big Hen से भाग कर गया था और जाके सो गया in the fields. The Big Hen chased me, said John Joe. We thought you were lost, said Mary, as she carried John Joe up the lane. Now you can see that the siblings do care for him. They didn't want him to get lost, but they were just a little careless. जिसमें वो गुम गया. John Joe was scared by the Brennan's Big Hen, Mary told Mammy. He hid away in the corn. We thought that we'd lost our little John Joe. There's no way I'm losing my little John Joe, Mammy said. It was your day for minding, John Joe, Mary told Sammy. Sure, I minded myself, said John Joe. ये देखो, अब समझ आया हुआ क्या है? बच्चे वापस गए हैं घर जाके उन्होंने मामा को बताया कि क्या हुआ था. मामा ने हगी दी, and then Mary reminded Sammy that it was his day to take care of his brother and he hadn't done so, right? And John Joe said, I minded myself, right? The end. So thankfully, John Joe was found. Thankfully, no bad person came after him and he wasn't lost forever. His family could find him. But there are a few things that we learn. Number one, when it's your responsibility or your day or your time to do something, you should do it responsibly and you should not expect anybody else to do it for you because that is not fair, right? Number two, if your mama asks you to do something, you do it. ये वाला तो पहले वाला point ही हो गया. Number two, if you're by yourself, be very careful and don't run away if you don't have a grown-up with you because then you can get lost. This was in the fields. It was in a countryside which is safer than the cities. But if you live in the city, then be very careful and don't go out alone. अच्छे लोग भी हैं हर जगह, बुरे लोग भी हैं और बच्चों को बहुत बच के बहुत संभल के रहना चाहिए. ठीक है. थर्ड बात जो कि बहुत अच्छी लगती है मुझे स्टोरी में वो ये है कि मैरी और सैमी दोनों से गलती हुई और जॉन जो गुम गया. But when they came home, they told their mama the truth. So no matter what we do, if we ever make a mistake, we go home and we tell our parents so that they can help us out. And we learn from our lessons and we are more careful next time. I hope that you guys enjoyed this story. If you did, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, you guys. See you soon in my next one. Allah Hafiz.